Okay, so now we're going to demo the back squat, okay, specifically the high bar, full range back squat. So there's many variations on squats. We always try in Elite to get people to squat the full range of motion, again, just because it's better to keep mobility in your hips, knees and ankle. So we are going to use a heel raise for this. Now if you wear lifting shoes and you have good range of motion, it's okay to do it without a heel raise, but this all depends if you can get good range of motion with good posture, alright? If not, you will use this. It's not an easy way out. If anything, it just allows you to work harder at it. So the setup you should always have, get used to a habit of what you do. So set yourself in the middle, hands on, make sure it's not too wide, just outside shoulder distance, loose grip and your head centered. Come in, get it onto the fleshy part of the neck and stand the bar strong. Now, we take as few steps as possible to get back and set ourselves with our heels on the heel raise. When we're in position, you lift the chest and engage your mid-back, okay? So lock the shoulder blades. This is going to stop you from rounding as you push up and the weight gets heavier. Okay, elbows are under the bar and we head down for the prescribed tempo. Knees are flaring out slightly and up, okay? So notice how the knees track out over my toes and they're in a wide position. This allows your hips are more flexible in this position and you can stay upright. Also my elbows are under the bar even at the bottom position. Again, allowing my back to stay lifted and the spine to stay healthy. Now, what we don't want is too narrow a stance, toes pointed straight and possibly too wide a grip and holding on too tight. Because watch what happens. See, immediately my back is rounded. As you go down, you tend to sit back too much as opposed to going knees forward. Okay? So as we sit back, what happens? More pressure goes through the lower back. You start dropping your head to feel like you're getting lower, and yet still I haven't got a full bend. This is not the position we ever want to be in, okay? So the hands are close, feet turned out, and watch how we transition. Now that's a much better position to be in. See how my spine is stacked? And we're straight up. Okay, when you're racking it in, make sure both sides are on and down. Okay, if for any reason you get too gung-ho, put on too much weight and you start squatting shallow, you're only kidding yourself, okay? So it's not a rep. You have to go right down, ass to grass, your hamstring has to touch your calf. That's the bottom. You will feel it because it's a definite bottom. If you can't do it, just lower the weight and get there and build it up over time. Lastly, make sure you don't cheat and hit the bottom and go, ooh, and bounce. Because you're just jarring on your knee and lower back joints, and again, that's very abrasive. So yeah, just keep it strict, keep it honest, and over time, you'll get better. Okay, so the lying hamstring curl. So this is for your hamstrings, more specifically the lower fibers. Now these work really, they're very fast twitch, so that's why when we prescribe them, they're always going to be explosive on the way up and very controlled on the way down. They only work like that, so they won't work properly if you go slow. Now, pretty beastie leg curl we have, so be careful when you're mounting it, alright? Step in. You have been warned, okay? This is a ball buster. Be careful of it, alright? So when you're getting on, make sure you clear it. Lean in. You're going to take the weight, so you feel the weight. Hands on here. Now, you make sure your hips are even and you pull the toes this way. This is to take the calves out of the movement, alright? So you want to stretch them so they're not involved. Now, we're going to move quick on the way up, all the way up to the bum. Squeeze the hamstrings and then resist on the way down, maintaining the toe pulled up to the shin. Okay, so try not to point the toes, because if you do, it's quite hard and you'll end up getting stuck about here. So toes pulled like that, finish the movement, slow on the way down. Now, when you're getting out, we got to mind the ball buster again. So you step up, lean your weight to one side just to make sure that you clear this, okay? As long as you're aware of it, you'll be fine. Alright, okay, pendulum squat. So basically this is like a normal squat, except you're supported, okay? So that's going to just allow us to focus on working the muscles a bit better. Now there's still a few pointers we have to watch out for. Namely, getting in and out and not hurting yourself. Never mind doing the exercise. So, step wide, grab hold and dip under, okay? Get into that position first. Lift the weight. Let the safety off. Hands go here. Now we set it up very much like a squat. So feet are high enough up, toes are slightly turned out. As we go down, keep the chest up, knees track out over the toes, and we make sure we get into a full squat position. Again, not curling the lower back and taking advantage of the machine supporting us. We still have to maintain a strong lower back posture, knees out. Okay, frequently what we see going wrong is people just step here, and again their calf flexibility won't let them, and they'll come down like this. Okay, now you don't want to be pressing through the toes, there's a lot of pressure on the knees. So step up enough that you are happy to go down, and keep your heels down and still have a curve in your lower back. When you're up and completed your set, step down, grab hold, make sure the safety is on the way to safety down, and then as you step out from the back. A lot of people, when they're in this position, they'll step out to the side, and again, it's very easy to hit your head. Okay, we don't want to do that. Okay, 45-degree back extension. Now, this is going to work your lower back muscles, your bum, and your upper hamstrings. Now, when we're doing it, most of the time we want to focus it on our hamstrings. So lock yourself in there, so we get the back of our heels up to the pads. They're secure and you're not going to go anywhere, okay? Now, you've got your hips in, your body is lifted long and straight. Sometimes we hold weights or whatever, hands here. I'm going to show you here for now, alright? This is a good starting position because it helps you maintain posture. As you tip down, notice that I'm still maintaining the curve in my lower back. So I'm not tipping down like this. I'm trying to maintain the curve, hinging forward from my hip, getting a stretch in my hamstrings, and contracting up through my bum and my hamstrings, okay? Even my shoulder blades are staying tight. So I'm keeping that good posture. What you frequently might see is people rounding and coming up like this, okay? Which is great fun, but you're just working your lower back really. We want to get this into hamstring and glute development as well. All right, once you're up, bring yourself up. Sorry, before we finish, just one more thing is don't bring yourself to straight and squeeze the muscles of your bum, hamstring and lower back. Don't overextend and bend the knees, okay? Okay, so the leg press. Again, we're mostly going to be working the quads and the glutes here. When you step in, make sure you sit down and get your bum flush to the back seat. All right, then place your legs, much like a squat, they're up and slightly turned out, ever so slightly. We take the weight and release the safeties, okay? Then hang on to the handles. Always keep the good posture, keep your chest up, and watch as you track the knees outwards. Okay, so you get a deep stretch without lifting the bum off the seat and drive up through. Now there's different ways of doing the leg press, but mostly we're going to try and keep the weight even through our heels and the ball of our feet. Okay, so we make sure we're not here lifting our heels like this. Okay, so keep everything planted nice and firm. Now, a common problem we see, and this is especially with ladies due to the angle of their hip, when they come down they'll go quite narrow and the knees will buckle in. Alright, maybe you want to come around here, I'll show you just the knees coming in. So we get this type of thing happening. Knees come in, maybe shallow. Okay, so that comes from the start position. You set up wide, and from the hips, turn your hips out. And then you can track down and get much better range. The other big mistake in this, mostly with the guys, is loading on too much weight. It's not, mind you, it's not bad in this gym and doing half reps. We never want to see that, okay? We want to work the muscle, not the ego. When you're getting out, grab hold here. This can be more difficult. Do the exercise, step out and out with some lovely grace. Okay, so the Romanian deadlift. Really good exercise for upper hamstrings, bum and lower back. There's different ways of doing it. Most of the time in here we are going to be doing it for hamstring development, not power development. So with that in mind, we're going to focus on feeling the exercise in our upper hamstrings. Now how we recruit our hamstrings mostly is when we pick it up, respect the bar from the very start, so make sure you don't just scooch it like that. Start it like a deadlift and get your posture. Step back, feet are directly under the hips and pointed straight forward. Now you lift your posture, okay? Kink the knees ever so slightly that they're not locked. Perfect, alright? Maintaining your scapula retraction like so. Slide the bar down your legs like you're looking over a cliff, okay? Now notice my lower back, I'm maintaining my curve in my lower back. I get to the point where I feel like I'm going to lose the curve. When I get here, I make sure I tilt my pelvis up and back. Lifting my bum, okay? Twerking if you will, okay? And contract up through my hamstrings. Slide down, maintain the curve. Increase the curve, find the stretch, bang, up through, okay? You're not going to do a massive weight with this. Often you find the heavier you go, the more you start to lose it, and you're just doing the movement, but not doing the muscles, okay? So get into it. This is one that a lot of people have to practice at home. The pelvis has to be tilted forward. As you go down, find the stretch, accentuate the stretch, and contract up through the muscles, okay? The ab wheel rollout, all right? Excellent exercise for all your core and ab muscles. So, how we're going to do it? First of all, don't be afraid of it. You can ease into this. As we come in, make sure you keep good posture, all right? So, shoulders are down, lats are tight, and we have an even angle here as we do here. Now, the key to this is opening up both angles of the hips and the shoulder at the same time, keeping the tummy tight. A lot of people will complain of feeling like straining their lower back if they let their lower back dip like that, alright? So you slightly tuck the pelvis under. It's much like a bridge, okay? The center has to be supported to keep it strong. Now, I would recommend starting off with this one. Just get used to moving both angles at the same time. Pull the tummy in, feel the tension, draw back strong. Again, shoulders are back strong. When you get comfortable with that, you can test the waters, go a little bit further. Okay, and the full exercise is going to be going all the way out, nice and strong, and draw back in, squeezing the abs. If you're going to progressive pass, if you can do 10 of them by the 4 sets, then we can do, can't talk when I'm doing this. Okay, 1 1/4s, and they're pretty tricky, but that will be a challenge for everybody.